What's up, y'all? Limits tuning back in with another video. Remember, there's no limit besides the limit you set yourself. And today in this video, I'll be extracting all the gas out the tank so that I'll be able to remove the gas tank, completely clean it, deep clean it, and do rust if there's any rust at all. And I actually just recently bought a fuel pump because from what it seems when I started this motorcycle, it either got bad gas or bad fuel pump, and I'll be solving both of that today. So I'll be installing a fuel pump into the gas tank. After completely deep cleaning it, I'm gonna slap the gas tank and the fuel pump back into the motorcycle, put some new gas in it, start it up, and see how it goes from there. So after I finish with that, I'm gonna actually be installing a Akrapovic slip-on exhaust because I can't be riding this motorcycle around with it sound like gunshots. I'm gonna have the police called on me, and then it's gonna be a whole nother thing. So it's better to keep the peace around here, right? Alright, so before actually doing anything, I'm gonna show you the parts that I'm gonna be installing in the motorcycle. So this is the fuel pump that I recently just purchased for the CBR. There's a whole new fuel pump assembly. This is a fuel pump. And I also got a Akrapovic exhaust. So I got a little mid pipe, I got a muffler. Yeah, stay tuned for when I install this exhaust because it's gonna be dope. I'm gonna do it before and after. Probably do flybys with it. Not entirely sure yet, but yeah, stay tuned, it'll be worth it. Let's get into it now. Alright, so let's get into the first step, which is the easiest step. All you're gonna need is a bucket and some tubing, but in my case it's gonna be a lot easier because I do have the hose and the pump, so I'm not gonna need to get the gas going through the hose with my mouth. But yeah, we got a bucket, we got the hose, pretty much all you're gonna need. All right, so my advice would definitely get a skinnier hose because it took me a little time to get this fat ass hose down to the gas tank. If you don't have a pump, you have to, of course, like use your mouth to inhale it. And then once you see the gas start going, you put your finger on it like this and you put it down towards the bucket and it should start going. But in my case, I got a pump, so I'll just pump it just like this. It is flowing. So yeah, with a pump is a lot easier, but make sure you get a tube that's skinnier. Science, baby. Look at it flowing. All right, now that most of the gas is extracted, I can still hear a tiny bit of gas in the gas tank, but with that big ass tube I got in the bucket, I wasn't able to extract literally everything. But that's not gonna be that big of a deal. It's not gonna be that messy. So what I'm gonna be doing next is I'm gonna be taking out the gas tank. I'll be removing it. What I'm gonna need is a 3/8 ratchet with a 10mm socket and a 12mm socket. I'm gonna put the gas tank lock back on just in case if gas was to go through this side, the gas tank lock will keep it in place. Make sure you don't lose these bolts. It's easier to lose these bolts, especially if you're working in dirt, around gravel and rocks and stuff. You're probably gonna find it again. And now we're gonna move on to these bolts right here. I'm gonna just hand loosen it now, since it's loose enough. Move this out the way. All right, moving on to 12mm one. That one's out. And what you want to do is put the gas tank to one side because it does have some connections. There you go, that's off. There's 3 hoses that's connected to the gas tank from the motorcycle and a electrical harness. So I popped up one hose. There's another hose. It's kind of like a clip. I'm gonna just pop that out. There's one more hose on the other side. And then I'm gonna clamp onto the clamp, pull it down, and it literally just came off with the hose. So perfect. All right, so last thing to take out is the electrical harness, and if your finger's big, it's going to be a little hard to get into this. I might just use my 2 smaller fingers right here, known as the prior. Don't damage the harness, of course. And it comes right out. Now the harness is out the way, the tank should be able to come right off. I'm able to pull it off, but in this case, since I'm replacing my fuel pump, I'll have to take out this whole assembly with all these. It's actually head into the tank with 6 nuts. And they're all 10mm, so I'm gonna just start taking it out now. Hopefully it's not gonna be too hard. Then the tank keeps moving, so you gotta hold the tank in place. Last one. So for the 5th nut, this piece is actually in the way, so I'm gonna just remove it. Now that I cracked it all loose, I'm gonna just take it off with my hand. So all 6 nuts is out now. I should be able to just pull it straight out.
Stop the cap.
That is not okay. That is nasty. There's a lot of metal shavings, dirt, and whatever the hell else is in there. I see a tiny bit of rust. Yeah, let's get to clean that out. All right, so I just finished taking out literally all of the gas in the gas tank, and yo, look at that. I don't know if you can see that, but that look dirty as hell, yo. The gas smells very diluted, like there's a lot of water in it or something. It's not purely gas. So that's probably why the motorcycle wasn't able to start up and idle properly. So I decided just to grab one and only use one and dilute it with some water. And this is specifically for rust and hard water stains and all that too. So to get the job done. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna slap the gas tank lock on. All right, now that I filled it to the top with water, so it's nicely diluted now, I'm gonna just let it all sit into the gas tank pretty much like 12 hours. But yeah, right now I'm gonna just store it on my porch.
The next day.
All right, I'm back. It's the next day. The solution's been sitting inside the tank overnight. I grabbed some towels so that I'll be able to dry off the gas tank. All right, so after scrubbing it, draining it, rinsing it out, and drying it out completely with the towels, I'm gonna let it dry some more in the sun, standing up, so that all the water, if there's any water at all, to drip all the way to the bottom. And I could use one of the towels, put a towel in there to like pretty much soak up the water, and it should be dry. All right, so while we wait for the gas tank to dry, let's get started on the fuel pump. What we're gonna do is put everything that's on the old fuel pump to the new fuel pump. Like these lines right here, this bracket. And then I'm gonna take off the bracket. We got everything off the old fuel pump. We don't need it no more, so let's throw it aside. All right, so these two nipples that are plugged up, let's unplug them and put the hoses on. So there is this little mounting location right here, and for this piece, there's a little mounting rubber grommet. Let's put the clamps right back on where it was to keep all the hoses intact. What the hell? Let's start putting the fuel pump into the dry gas tank. It was like that originally, so we're gonna put it right back the same way it was. All right, now that we're done with that, let's start connecting all the hoses from the motorcycle to the gas tank and the fuel pump. All right, we successfully put in the tank and the fuel pump. All we gotta do now is bolt the gas tank up to the motorcycle. Make sure you don't forget this piece though, because I almost did. All right, now that the gas tank is completely bolted in, I got the gas tank lock on. All I have to do now is go get some gas, put some gas in, and start up the motorcycle. I ended up taking the fuel pump out to see why it's leaking, and I forgot this gasket that was on the old fuel pump. So I'm gonna put that on, slap everything back in, and start putting the gas in again. I got everything situated. I'm gonna add all the gas in the gas tank and start a battery, but I won't be starting it and doing the exhaust until tomorrow. So I'm gonna just add the gas for right now, and I'll get right back to y'all tomorrow. All right, it's the next day. I didn't want to start it yesterday because it was too late and this motorcycle was pretty loud. So I start up right now and see the moment of truth. It's in neutral, okay. It's making all the noises you want to hear, the fuel pump priming and everything. All right, let's go. The idle does sound a tiny bit weird still, but it's idling perfectly fine compared to before. So that's good news. I'm gonna let it run for a little bit, let it warm up, and then take it for a ride. Yeah, I don't want to rev it too loud, so that's why I only rev it a little bit, because I don't want to disturb the piece. So yeah, I'm gonna head back and install the exhaust right now and see how it sounds afterwards. All right, I'm back. I'm about to get into installing the exhaust. But before I install it, let's look at what the entire system comes with. So I got a muffler, mid pipe, a silencer so I could put into the muffler, so a silent mounting bracket for the muffler to go onto the motorcycle right there. These little springy thingy-majiggy will be what's holding the mid pipe onto the muffler and the muffler onto the mid pipe pretty much. This part of the mid pipe right here with the line, it's gonna go on the header itself, and there's a little bracket that comes with it. Just strap the bracket on. In my case, I'll be using a silencer because this motorcycle is pretty loud. When I was riding earlier, everyone was looking at me like I'm crazy and obnoxious, so I'm gonna slap the silencer in there. I'm gonna just install the muffler right into the mid pipe. All right, so you want to keep everything loose for right now until you adjust the exhaust exactly how you want it, so that it will be able to fit this mounting point right here properly. You want to mess around the bracket and see how it fits the best, and I realized that setting it up like this is going to be the best for my setup. Put a washer and a screw, stick it right through. Don't forget to hand tighten the back of the screw with a washer and a nut. All right, now let's grab the other screw with a washer, stick it right through, and in the back you want to put a washer in the back of the screw first, and you put the nut on. And these are the tools that we'll need: alley key set, plier, 3/8 ratchet with a 12mm, the long one. So to tighten it, what you want to do is 12mm socket in the back and use the alley key to tighten it, and then same thing for the bottom one. All right, so instead of a 12mm for the bottom nut, it will be a 14mm, which is weird. Should have been the same one. All right, it's nice and tight. It's definitely not going nowhere. There's a bracket at the bottom here, and what I want to do is tighten this one as much as I can so that it's perfectly fitted onto the header. And that bracket has a bolt that needs a 10mm, so let's grab the little springy thingies. You're gonna need a plier for this one. So you're gonna put it on one side first, and there's another one in the back. Grab it and stretch it all the way to the bracket, and now it's in. Now that it's in, let's start up the motorcycle. Way Alright, y'all, that'll be all for this video. Whoever watched, I appreciate it a lot. If you liked the video and enjoyed the kind of content, please like, subscribe, and if you have any recommendations or anything you'd like to say, please comment. I'll be wrapping it up now. This will be all for the video, but stay tuned because I have a lot coming up, a lot planned for the motorcycle and the B20 VTEC Civic. So yeah, stay tuned. See ya.